In the meantime, they just keep rerunning Celebrity Family Feud. And I think in some ways, that's a useful symbol of what is going on here. President Trump wants dissent to be squashed. He wants his critics to be silenced. He doesn't want to see liberal late night hosts on TV. He wants to see game shows. He would rather have Family Feud reruns airing on broadcast television. And some of these local station owners are willing to give in because they have business before the federal government and they need Trump administration approvals. I think that's why this story has broken through so clearly. Yes, there have been other examples of media company capitulation, many other examples of Trump's retribution campaign, but this one's really resonating with Americans because the fact pattern is so clear.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I've been wondering, I've always wondered how Brian Stelter ended up getting his job back. Then I realized it's because he takes positions, he says things that are so irritating that most people don't want to do it, but he does it with a smile. He eats shit sandwiches, doesn't burp, and smiles while he does it, and then thanks you later. Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack.
I've been trying to think about what the media is going through in the U.S. What is this free speech stress test that we're all experiencing in the U.S.? And I've started to liken it to an elevator. It's like the American media is on an elevator, and it keeps heading downward every day or every week, reaching a new lower floor. Every time a media company gets sued by the president, every time CBS or ABC or another company settles instead of fighting that suit in court, every time Trump threatens a license, the way he did again this afternoon on the way home from the UK, every level, it's another level lower on that proverbial elevator. And we don't know where the bottom is. We don't know how much worse this can get. For a lot of comedians, for a lot of entertainers, seeing Kimmel sidelined is a worst case scenario. But Kimmel can go launch a YouTube live stream right now. He can go launch a new Substack newsletter. He does have other options and other platforms. So we have not reached whatever that bottom might be. But certainly there is a moment, I think, right now in the U.S. where people are looking around and wondering how much democratic backsliding is going to be tolerated. How much more autocratic will this country become before some change happens? And that's one of the great unknowns right now.
Yo, fam. Some people, not everybody was a Kimmel fan. You know what I'm saying? But I bet if somebody made jokes about you for 10 years almost, nonstop, you might want them to leave too. Now, you might not have the cojones to make sure that happened, but some people will. And that's the difference between Trump and you. You know what I'm saying? And maybe even myself. I don't know if I would do it. You know what I'm saying? But, I talked about this, about how the media getting manipulated, the media being manipulated, the media being in the pocket of various presidents. That ain't nothing new, Johnson. It's just the media is typically in the pocket of the Democrats. And Trump has found a way to put the right people in place where he can take away those powers. See, you're used to getting your way. And what's happened is Trump already figured this out. When y'all were busy kicking his back in for 4 years when he was out of office and you tried to send him to jail and bankrupt him, you know what he was doing? He was like this. And then he'd meet with people. Here, what do I do to get him? He don't want to stick out. I want to get him. I gotta get him. I gotta get him. He was plotting and planning for 4 years. And I've said this, man, and people need to know. Donald Trump took his 4 years off, spent his time going to court, wondered if he was going to be a free man or not. You put him in a position where he had to win. You also put him in a position that if he did, when he come back and he would exact revenge. Trump is Jeepers Creepers on steroids. You did that to him. Think of all the movies we've seen. Prom Queen, Christine, I don't know, Cujo 2, The Dog, They Ate Everybody. People come back. Jason kept coming back. But what happened? Didn't something happen to Jason that made Jason become Jason? He wasn't just born Jason. It wasn't like Omen. Damon Omen, Omen, that's it. The omen was born the omen, but Trump wasn't. He was a Democrat. Then again, he was the omen, wasn't he? You guys created a monster out of Trump, and now you mad because the monster is being a monster. That tiger didn't go crazy. That tiger went tiger. You weren't saying all that when he was giving Bill Clinton money. You know, when Trump was giving all this money to Bill Clinton, everybody was happy. Oh, I like Trump. Trump's cool. Me and Trump went down there. Me, he took a vodka. I had Hilly. We were down there. We were skinny dipping. Then we went on the Epstein plane. Oh, I had a good time. They made a picture of me. It was fun. It was fun. Hillary went to sleep, and I really had fun. That time I left her at home, oh, I had a ball. Chris Tucker was there. Oh, come on, man. Those are the days, man. Don't put my name in it, Tim Black. Don't do that to a brother, man. Yeah, Johnson. Wake up. But of course, like I said, we got a Brian Stelter to act like the world just started spinning yesterday. He's not going to look at anything historically and say, how did we really get here? What really happened? And all this is because of Jimmy Kimmel, a guy who was a loss leader. He was a loss leader. They weren't making money on his show. People ain't tuning in like that. Come on, Johnson. They need to just clean the decks of all that crap. Will America be able to go back to the days of talk shows? Maybe not. Or game shows or whatever type of wacky, zany fun. But you know what? We could deal with some, why not some fun shows like Mad TV? Remember Mad TV in Living Color? Why not that? Why not shows like that? Or, you know, ain't nothing for nothing. You know, you can give me a show. They could get Tim Black a show. You know, I'd have a show on there. I'd have guests. I'd have a co-host. We'd have fun. We'd get into it, man. It couldn't do any worse than Jimmy Kimmel's show. I can tell you this. We wouldn't lose $30 million a month. I'm sorry, $30 million a year. Like Stephen Colbert. Anyway, yeah. We covered this already. But it's just funny hearing Stelter head remind us why he got fired the first time. Then they brought him back because they couldn't get anybody else to lick their boots clean. No one else wants to eat the yellow snow except Brian Stelter. And then say, thank you, can I have another? That's Brian Stelter. That's CNN.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.